It's a musical instrument travel as well. For instance, those when people travel from one place to the other, they move with the instrument. So if they travel to settle somewhere, but when they go there, also that even if they don't travel with the instrument, when they get there, they will find a way of creating or making the instrument, because music is part of human life. You cannot do away without, I mean, with music, you know. So if people move from one area to the other, so I mean the musical instrument also move around. So as to how all these things come, I mean, I believe, as a personal view, I think that that is how it all happened, because people move from place. And if you all believe that we are all from one Adam and Eve, and if you are all from Adam and Eve, then of course, so the musical instrument can tell. So if I have a you have a musical instrument in Ghana, and then there's we have a xylophone in Ghana, there's xylophone Burkina, whatever. I mean, it's not the same Adam and Eve people who are stretching. So that's it. So this is what I can say. Yeah, that's my personal opinion anyway.
Thank you very much, Baby.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed the performance as well. But
Okay.
I was just thinking maybe we can be pushing all these local names
The local
instead of
names.
the xylophone. We can push the
Yeah,
gili or how you call it.
of course. Yeah, if you type Gili, I mean, you will find it on net anyway. Gili in Ghana. That's like I said. In Ghana, we call it a Gili. That is the two tribes, the Dagaba and then the Sisale. They call it Gili. Sorry, and the Lobis, they call it Gili. The Sisale call it Gense. So and these three ethnic groups, I would say the Lobi and the Gara people have a similar language. We can understand each other. But that of the Sisala is totally different. But we can play the same instrument. I can play the Gara song on the xylophone. The Sisalma will come and play a Sisala song on the same instrument. So you see, you're all one people.
I didn't know how you call it when you come to the south.
You say the South, yeah, they call it Jomolo.
Jomolo.
Yeah, the Southerners call it Jomolo.
You have people here who also play.
You see, so it's a bit interesting.
Thank you very much, sir.
I just want to,
all right. Oh, okay. Did you have a question?
I hope you enjoy our talking too. Not only
oh yeah, of course, absolutely. Operata, it's not a question per se. It's a comment that I want to add. When you go on the internet and then you type in xylophone, I don't know if because it's an English word, it projects different instrument. But when you type in ballophone, which has French balafon. When you type in balafon in Google, which is from the Francophone countries, it gives you the picture of what is similar in Ghana. So I don't know if it is a linguistic, how do you call it? It's a linguistic thing that is happening on Google or what, but yes, you are right, absolutely, Sebebi, your response is in sync with, the diversity of the musical instrument that runs across the world. So anyways, Ofrata, do you have any question?
Yeah, I must say a big thank you to everybody who was part of the performance today. I think it's been great experiencing all of you. It's been great experiencing everybody, and the joy and the energy that you bring to the arts field is, of course, commendable. My question, and so I'm saying that thank you to everybody. Thank you to the crew. Thank you to the performers. Thank you to everybody who joined in the performance. My question would be that where is our traditional music going in terms of technology? And I don't know whether you have the question, I mean, you have the answer to this, or maybe if you just think about it or something, but in terms of technology, where is our traditional music going? Is there a way that we are putting them on some electronic devices so that people can actually have access to them? Is there a way that we are, channeling these rich, cultures into? Because of course, in the next 20 years, 50 years, we might not have the animals to, use their skin to do musical instruments. We might not have the abundant wood to make those and I'm saying might, right? We may or we may not. So is there a way that we actually processing these skill into more electronic stuff so that um if you get to that point, there's going to be some kind of way to save our traditional music, giving us the same tune, the same music, or there has not been any conversation around that field. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody has any.
Oh, it's a very beautiful question, and I think so. What is our question by the way? Feel how China? You see how we is it? Is it? It's a beautiful question because right now, I mean, what we are doing is one of the way of preserving, our traditional music. So I mean, through African life art, now people get to know today, or they get to see the traditional Xylophone coming from the northern part of Ghana, the Seprewa coming from the southern part of Ghana. We are saying that, or you are asking that how our traditional music maybe can be digitalized or can be preserved.
That's right.
Um, what is happening now? I think the what do you call it? Me bro I will try my best.
Oh,
What is happening now? It
country.
looks like the youth is their interest in the traditional music is going down, and something need to be done about that. How do we fill up the interest of the youth to get, interested in our traditional musical instrument? I mean, if you talk about Ghana music, look at the way Ghana popular music is. You can never hear any popular song with any traditional musical instrument like you hear from Mali or Senegal or any other, West African country. We have all these big stars in Ghana, and none of them even promotes any traditional musical instrument. Why? Why is it so? So it's a big problem.
Okay,
Now traditional music, when you come to Ghana, it's very difficult to even to hear on the radio. All you hear on the radio is hip life and whatever. You don't hear any traditional music. Even only maybe a handful of maybe radio stations maybe play from time to time, and that's it. And
let's say so. So could it be
if we lose our culture, what do we have? A country without culture is meaningless, because it's a culture that identify you, as a people. But if you don't have it, where are we going? And I mean, it's a pity when I go back home in my village, when there's like funeral or anything, you see that you don't see the interest of the youth in the traditional music. So the old people, when there's funeral, you see it's only the old people who are playing. When those people are gone, what happened? So we have to find a way, to fill up the interest of the youth. I mean, to go into traditional music and all that.
Okay. Could it be the gap between the tradition and the new forms? Because can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. So we're saying that could it be the gap between the traditional music or the traditional tradition against the modern forms? I mean, what I mean that the traditional tradition is, within the tradition, things has to be done in a certain way. Maybe the xylophone has to be, created with, gog, and there should be wood around it, blah, blah, blah. With contemporary or with the current millennia, they are looking at technology. They are looking at, fast tempo music. They are looking at different dimension of music. If there is a mix of these two, don't you think that it would be a better way to go? For instance, as I said before, we cannot keep, destroying our forest, the wood, to create instruments forever. So as time goes on, is it possible that the tune that we are making, we're getting from the wooden xylophone, is it possible to use a more sustainable, much more lasting instrument, maybe a metallic, or something in that sense that can be plugged with electricity that, of course you can still use your wood and all that, and then you can still make the same music as you would have made if you had used a traditional instrument, because there is that aspect where the machine, oh sorry, the instruments are being maintained, and you know with the idea that, okay, when we maintain the instrument, or as it is right now, it is going to give us a particular sound. But then modernity is moving so fast, or the world is moving so fast, technology is moving so fast that we might not necessarily be stuck with how things are done in time past. And so people might be interested in maybe electrical drums, right? Previously, we used to have these, big drums that you have to play. Now we have the electrical drums. Can we have electrical xylophone? Can we have electrical Seprewa? Don't you think that that will actually move with time rather than getting stuck with the natural instrument as we have now?
Nana, let me just add something to what we just said.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Adenkum group, and Adenkum normally use the traditional system. We don't have a metal system. I think I decided to get the seed and plant it myself. I did, but it didn't rain that year, so I lost everything. And now the musicians are waiting. We don't know where to go. We don't know how to get.
Yeah.
When you go to the forest, we are losing all the trees now. This illegal mining is destroying everything.
That's right.
I think I support it, and I believe there will be a time we need electrical fish, because we are also destroying the ocean. Right? So I think what you are saying, I 100% agree with you. But we are not even, as a nation, we are not even thinking about it. What we need is to get something. I mean, get V8 today. We don't even mind. We don't even think about what is going to happen next. Yeah. And this is exactly what is leading the entire country to destruction. So what we just said, I want you to come. I think you need to discuss this. I mean, what is it called? I mean, GTV.
All the radio stations.
All the radio stations. Because the next 20 years, but you are a prophet. The next 20 years, you're going to lose everything. Even our women, we need a plastic what I think, surgery. Because everything is changing. So it's a very, very interesting, and I think this is the first time to discuss this. We need to put it in a certain way. I don't know whether the government will listen to us. We are victims, and we are going to. Christopher also does this drums this thing. Professor Nku asked him that there will be a time we will not be able to get some of the wood or trees. So what are you going to do? Why don't you think about using glue and other papers? We came out with some ideas. So what we are saying, we Ghanaians we are not even thinking about that. But it's going to happen in the next 20 years. So now that you are being told, I think you will take it from here and then think about it. Because the way things are going, man, it's man around. He's there. So the way things are going, I think it's so bad, and they need to find a way. Otherwise, the next generation will suffer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that there should be a synergy between science and even our art. Because say baby, the first instrument that you played, what was the name?
The Indira.
Yeah, Imbira, right?
Yeah.
Imbira.
Mhm.
I think 2020 or 2019, a friend of mine sent me a link
Mm.
to a website where you can actually download this kind of software. I'm not sure whether it's a software or an app,
Okay.
and then you can actually play the Imbira on your laptop. So all the strings are there. All you
Mm.
have to do is just to strike some keys. It's just like you're playing a piano on a laptop, right?
Yeah.
So there are softwares that people can actually develop. Can somebody develop something that looks um like a wooden, just a flat wooden thing with all these um engineering work, creating a xylophone out of even a plastic, or creating a Seprewa out of something similar, something that can last, because of course now we're using wood, right? When Mr. Osei plays the Seprewa, he wants to get a particular tune, he wants to get a particular feel. All those feelings, all those feel, and all those tunes can be made possible with technology, with engineering, right? And I think that there should be some kind of connection between science and then our art forms, so that even as we move along, even if it is not the fact that we even want to, we want to reduce the number of deforestation and all that, the fact that we actually moving on from one particular thing to another is a way that you can engage a whole lot of people. I mean, it can be easy, because right now, if you want to teach, let's say, a school, how to do Seprewa, how to play Seprewa, or how to play xylophone in a class, you have to carry all these big instruments into the class.
Mm.
Whilst with technology, you can actually program it on a laptop. Everybody has a stake. We have the mat on the floor, and it can be easily done. So I think that is something that maybe we should be looking at. And of course, I know that we can only be talking about some of these things, and helping the authorities that be you know get some attention on some of these things, because
Yeah. Well,
art and technology should
mm.
be something that we should be looking at.
Well, technology, from my point of view, is good, and it's also killing us at the same time. Why is it killing us? You see, technology would drift out from what we have, the authentic things. For instance, when I was a child growing up from the village, we used to drink water from the clay pot. Everything we cook from the clay pot. And you see how people live long at that time. Right now, look, we say technology, they bring in some things. So me, the question I was asked is that, so if you are talking that a time will come, we don't have the animals to get the leather to make the instrument. What prevents us from rearing the animal to get the leathers? What prevents us from planting trees to get trees to make our instrument? Can't we do that? So we say the name of technology is taken away from all these things. We are moving away from nature. That's the thing. So we talk of preserving our tradition, and we are talking about technology, and technology will not preserve our culture and all that. That's one thing. We can plant tree to use them to make our drums. We can rear the animals to use them to make our musical instrument and all that. Can't we do that? So we are saying because of technology, we have to leave all this go. A time will come, the xylophone will turn to something else, and getting the authentic one will not get it. the Seprewa will tend to something else. Getting the authentic one will not be there. So what is our identity? Now the xylophone, we have before we use the slab, we used to use leather, twisted leather to tie the keys and all that. Right now we use this black thread, instead of the leather, but there is the frame that was, even the frame, some people use a black thread to tie the frame and all that, you see. But the question is, we are moving away from nature. We are moving, which is not, is not helping us. I think technology brings so much laziness in us. That's what I can say.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
I'm entitled to.
Yeah.
also come up with. But I agree with that. What
Sorry, I know.
Yes,
Just like the xylophone, we have a mental. We can make a mental xylophone, and it will sound like the same, but the sound, of course, you will not get that natural sound.
That's why you need to
Yeah.
work. You need to still look at it
Okay.
and find good sound.
So
Metal
I
is the
think
better.
what
We
he's
need to do.
saying, looking at the population now, you see, our population now. Kwame Nkrumah started with 4 billion. We are almost about 32. And people are, building from here to Abri, from even Kaswa to Winneba. The farms and the trees that you see along the roadside is not there anymore. So this is what the man is talking about. We are not moving away, but the system is forcing us to move. You understand? So for me, I've learned something. Even I didn't come, I'm going to use the PVC listing. Oh yes, to do it. Because even some have already done it. If you look at that Tentebeng, now they're using this kind
The
of
bamboo.
So what the man
not-
is saying is
not
the
there.
system. Now the population is growing, things are changing. Even you look, all the rivers that we have in Ghana, it's all gone. No fish, nothing. So what are you going to do? So I agree. I think we need to find a way out. So that it's I think, what is the time now? Yeah, Nana,
Yeah, this one.
particular
Nana,
topic,
told you
I really enjoy it. But we
All
are
right.
going to take it from here.
Yeah, definitely.
People the Ghanaians are sleeping. We all of it we are in bed. So I think this is it's not a joke. I am very serious. And from today, I'm going to even think about how to make a plastic Seprewa and see. But there'll be a time you may not even enjoy, you get this thing because no even materials to do it. And this is what the man is trying to, draw our attention to. So I think for me, it's a good thing. I know for him, when you get more ideas, just send it to us. Yes, sleeping, but some of us will wake up. Thank you.
All right. So, real quick, just to add up to, just to clarify some few points. You realize that in your submission, you were saying that at a point with a xylophone, you used to use a particular material, but that material is now scarce, so you're using something else, right? So there is that substitution, right, to use it. And I'm not necessarily saying that we are the idea is not necessarily okay. We are seeing that our forest zones are depleting, so we have to find something. Yes, that is a point. But then we can still plant our trees, we can still rear our animals. But are we going to get stuck with what we have or what we are experiencing for quite a long time? Because one thing that I see is generation come and generation go, and different generation have different things that they are passionate about. Some people are passionate about technology because, of course, that is what they've come to meet. Of course, when I was growing up, there wasn't any Facebook. Now there is Facebook. I have to put my stuff on Facebook so that a lot of people can see. So now making room for the expansion of this musical space where musical instruments will not only be built with wood, but trying to test other materials that can actually, have similar or even the same sound as a word with the particular musical instrument, I think wouldn't be a way, in my sense, wouldn't be a lazy approach to looking at things. Yeah, wouldn't be a lazy approach to looking at things, but rather a different, another approach that we can actually look at life and also consider the new generation. Because yeah, we want to get people involved. We want people to find other areas, other avenues. I mean, of course, when you go to other countries, other places, there is a lot of research going on every day. How can we improve on this particular thing? How can we make it better than it is today? All right, because maybe the older generation have a certain taste, a certain style. And of course, I'm not saying that is bad, but of course we also have to realize that they also inherited it from another generation and they tweaked it in some way. Okay. I don't know, perhaps when you look at the Seprewa that we have today, probably 100 years ago, if we have a Seprewa in a museum 100 years ago and you compare it with what perhaps Mr. Osei has today, there might be a difference. There might be a huge difference when you take xylophone 100 years ago and you compare the xylophone that you have today. There might be a huge difference. Why is that huge difference? It could be that the materials that were available at that time were, I mean, as time went on, it either depleted or people saw that, okay, maybe there is this a much better way of maybe doing this, or maybe something, right? And so they had to shift gradually. Now technology is moving in such a way that there is going to be a lot of research, because who is researching in African instruments? Who is digitalizing African instruments on the internet? Who is making these softwares so that right now, if you go into a classroom, let's say you have a gig to go and teach at one other school, you are not carrying 10 xylophones or you're not carrying 20 xylophones, but you just go, all the students have maybe either a laptop or what, because that is what they are exposed to now, right? So it is either we make it cumbersome and then we take all the 20 or 50 xylophones to the classroom, or there is another easier way that could have been that has been done or been created through technology. Everybody put their software on, something spreads in front of them, you have a stick and you're just hitting the floor, but it's giving you the same music or maybe similar music as it would with with the xylophone, because that is where the world is going. And that is where I think that you can also get interest of people, because now if you want 100 people to know about xylophone and play xylophone, it's going to be difficult for you to go around with your xylophone instrument, or else they have to come. And of course, when they come to your room, maybe you also have a very small office. How many students can get into the office? Maybe 10, 20, and you're talking about 100 students. So I think the current generation are more interested in tech stuff. That is why they are fidgeting with their phone always. That is why they are always on the laptop. So it is either we meet their taste, we meet them at where they are, or we still get stuck with, okay, this is how it is done, whilst they are very, very far away from what the tradition is, and whilst we want to link them back, it's going to be difficult, because every day in, every day out, Twitter is coming, TikTok is coming, this is coming, that is coming, that is coming. It's a lot of things that people are creating, and all these things are subduing the tradition that we have as Africans. And it's, if we don't move with time, we'll just move away from time. That is what I think.
Yeah. I mean, what you are saying is right. This way, we need what do you call it? Like the technology to do all these. What do you call it? You know, we need technology to do all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
To make things.
That's what I was talking about, the merge between science and then the arts. Yeah.
For instance, we can make a sample of the xylophone, a sound, and then make a software of it. So when you have it, I mean that it's okay, but the traditions should also be there for us to see. You see, so that I still feel that at least the traditions we shouldn't throw away completely, but we should also have the technology way of approach to the instrument, so that you can have about 1,000 people that can have access to the instrument, maybe by using the laptop or whatever. And that one, I don't think it's a difficult thing. I think technology should be able to come up with that, and I believe some other musical instrument, like the Western instrument, they are gone far with that, but the African instrument, we are lacking behind, and we need technology to also place us on that level. So it's a good thing. For instance, if I have to travel to America and and teach maybe 100 of a student, maybe we may not get all, like you rightly said, we may not get all the 100 xylophone, but again, if we have the instrument, if like I'm going to a school to teach, and the school can afford to buy the instrument, that's also something, though. So we have the technology there, and then we also have the authentic thing there. I think we should marry the two. For me, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I think we sleep here.
All right. Thank
you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for thank you,
you.
African Art, Life Art, for giving us
thank
the
you. Thank you.
to share our ideas, to share our music and all that. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
God bless you.
All right. Okay. So we are going out of we're going out of
This one is
social media.
it's a national debate.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we are out of social media.